Ah, dogs, man's best friend. Loyal companions. Four-legged bundles of joy. Unless you're xenophobic, that is. Cynophobia, my dear reader, is the rather grand term for a fear of dogs. And it's more common than you might think. While many people adore these furry creatures, some experience a shiver down their spine at the mere sight of a canine. Imagine breaking into a cold sweat when a Labrador puppy bounds towards you, tail wagging with innocent enthusiasm. Not exactly a walk in the park, is it? This fear, though often irrational, is very real and can significantly impact a person's life. So let's dig a little deeper into this fascinating phobia, shall we? After all, knowledge is power, even when it comes to conquering canine-induced anxieties. Now, why would someone develop such a fear? Well, the reasons are as varied as dog breeds themselves. Sometimes it's a case of once bitten, twice shy. A negative childhood experience, like a dog bite or chase, can leave a lasting impression. Imagine a small child happily munching on a biscuit only to have it snatched away by a boisterous beagle. Trauma? Quite possibly, but fear not, dear reader, not all cynophobia stems from terrifying encounters. Genetics might also play a role. Some people are predisposed to anxiety, making them more susceptible to developing phobias, including cynophobia. It's like inheriting your great-aunt's china collection, but instead of delicate teacups, you get a fear of furry friends. Other times, it's simply a learned behavior. Witnessing a parent's fear of dogs can easily rub off on a child, just like a good head scratch is shared between a canine and its human. How does one know if they suffer from this canine conundrum? The symptoms, my dear Watson, are as varied as a dog show lineup. Some experience mild anxiety, a slight quickening of the pulse when a Pomeranian struts by. Others might experience full-blown panic attacks, complete with sweating, dizziness, and a desperate need to flee the scene. Imagine this. You're strolling through the park, enjoying the sunshine and the chirping birds, when suddenly a Great Dane rounds the corner. Your heart pounds like a drum solo, your breath hitches, and you're convinced that this gentle giant is about to mistake you for a chew toy. The irony, of course, is that the dog is probably more interested in sniffing out a tasty treat than chasing terrified humans. But fear, as we know, doesn't always play by the rules of logic. Section 4. A global phenomenon, prevalence of cynophobia. Now, you might be surprised to learn that cynophobia is more common than one might think. Statistics suggest that it affects millions of people worldwide. That's a lot of nervous energy directed at our furry friends. It's certainly not a laughing matter, but one can't help but chuckle at the thought of a world where everyone is terrified of dogs. Imagine dog walkers donning camouflage suits, sneaking their canine charges through the park under the cover of darkness. But in all seriousness, the prevalence of cynophobia highlights the importance of understanding and addressing this fear. After all, dogs bring so much joy into the world. It's a shame to miss out on their unconditional love and companionship because of an irrational fear. Section 5. Taming the tail, overcoming the fear of dogs. So how does one go about conquering this canine phobia? Well, the first step is acknowledging the fear and seeking professional help. A therapist can provide tools and techniques to manage anxiety and gradually desensitize the individual to dogs. Think of it like training a puppy. But in this case, it's your own mind that needs a bit of positive reinforcement. Start small, perhaps by looking at pictures of adorable puppies who can resist those eyes, and gradually work your way up to real-life encounters. Exposure therapy, where the individual is gradually exposed to dogs in a safe and controlled environment, can be particularly effective. It's like dipping your toes in the shallow end of the pool before diving into the deep end. Section 6. From trembling to tail wags, a brighter future. The journey from fear to friendship might seem daunting, but it's important to remember that overcoming cynophobia is possible. With the right support and a healthy dose of courage, those who once trembled at the sight of a schnauzer can learn to appreciate the unique bond between humans and canines. Imagine the joy of finally experiencing the simple pleasure of throwing a ball for a dog and watching it bound back with unbridled enthusiasm. Or the comfort of a furry friend snuggled up beside you on a cold winter's night. So, to those who are on this journey, take heart. The path may be paved with a few barking incidents, but the destination, my friend, is a world filled with wagging tails and sloppy kisses, and who knows, you might even find yourself saying, "Who's a good boy?" with genuine affection one day.